Let me ask you one honest question. You understand English when you watch videos. You can read English when you see it written. But the moment someone looks at you and says, "So, what do you think?" your mind goes completely blank. You know the words. You studied the grammar. But nothing comes out. If that has ever happened to you, this video was made for you. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this happens. And you will have a clear, simple, 30-day plan to fix it. No expensive courses. No perfect grammar needed. Just a method that actually works. Let's begin. When I was 12 years old, I did something my family thought was strange. Every single morning, before breakfast, before school, I got on my bicycle. And I rode 40 minutes to the nearest international hotel. Not to eat. Not to work. I went there to talk to foreigners. I would walk up to strangers and say, "Hello. My name is Jack. Can I be your free guide today?" Free. I earned zero money. My family didn't understand. My classmates laughed at me. But I kept going. Not for a few days. Not for a few months. I did this for almost 9 years. Rain. Heat. Cold. It didn't matter. Here is what I discovered. The foreigners didn't laugh at me. They talked to me. They listened. They even corrected my English. And without knowing it, they became my teachers. One day, a man said, "Your name is a little difficult for me. Can I call you Jack?" I said yes. That name stayed with me. Why did a young boy ride so far every morning just to talk to strangers? Because I understood one thing very early. English is not just a language. It is a door. At that time, I didn't know what was behind that door. But I knew it was bigger than my small world. And I wanted to open it. Let me describe someone you might know. Maybe, that someone is you. You have studied English for years. You learned grammar rules. You memorized vocabulary lists. You may have even passed an exam. But when a colleague says, "Excuse me, where is the nearest exit?" your brain freezes. You know the word exit. You know the word nearest. But nothing comes out. This is one of the most common problems in English learning. And most teachers never explain why it happens. Here is the truth. You trained your brain. But you never trained your mouth. Let me give you a simple picture. Imagine you want to learn piano. You read music theory. You watch YouTube tutorials for hours. You understand rhythm, tempo, and notes. Now you sit down at the piano for the first time. Your fingers don't move. You don't know where to place them. You feel completely lost. Speaking English is exactly the same. Understanding English lives in your brain. But speaking English lives in your body. Your tongue, your lips, your breathing, your rhythm. These things need physical practice. And this is where most people fail completely. They spend years reading. They spend years listening. They spend years writing. But they never open their mouth. Reading is not speaking. Writing is not speaking. Listening is not speaking. Speaking is different. It happens in real time. Someone is waiting for your answer right now. You have no time to translate in your head. That is why it feels hard. That is why your heart beats fast. But here is the good news. This is a problem you can fix. I want to tell you something that most English courses never say. The biggest problem is not your pronunciation. The biggest problem is not your grammar. The biggest problem is not your vocabulary. The biggest problem is fear. And I know this, because I had this fear too. In many cultures, children learn from a young age. Don't make mistakes in front of others. If you're not sure, stay quiet. Silence is respect. And in many situations, this is true. But when you learn a language, this idea quietly destroys your progress. Because language learning is different. You must make mistakes. You must try before you are ready. You cannot stay silent and improve at the same time. It simply doesn't work that way. When I was young, practicing English with tourists every morning, I made mistakes every single day. Wrong grammar. Wrong pronunciation. Wrong words entirely. One morning, I tried to explain something simple. The tourist looked at me with complete confusion. I wanted to disappear. But I came back the next day. Because I made a decision that changed everything. I told myself, it's okay to feel embarrassed now. Because tomorrow, I will be a little better. That one small decision changed my life. And it can change yours too. I want you to picture someone clearly. Her name is Rose. She is 26 years old. She grew up in a normal city. She studied hard and did well in school. Her English is actually not bad. She can read articles. She can write professional emails. But when it comes to speaking, everything changes. In team meetings, Rose stays quiet. On video calls with international colleagues, her microphone is always off. When her manager turns to her and asks, "Rose, what do you think?" her heart starts beating fast. She knows the answer. She has the idea clear in her head. But when she opens her mouth, she starts a sentence, then stops. She smiles nervously and says, "Sorry, my English is not very good." And then silence. After the meeting, she sits at her desk and thinks. I knew the answer. I could have said it. Why didn't I speak? And slowly, something more dangerous begins to happen. Rose starts to believe a story about herself. My English is just not good enough. Maybe I'm not a speaker. I'll speak up when I'm more ready. But here is the problem. That moment never comes. Because if you only prepare, but never practice, you are not improving. You are just waiting. I have met hundreds of people like Rose. Smart people. People with great ideas. People who understand a lot. But they don't speak. And when you don't speak, silence becomes a habit. And habits are very difficult to change. So let me tell you something important right now. The English you have today is enough to start. Not perfect. But enough. You don't need better English to begin. You need to begin, to get better English. That is the difference. I applied to Harvard 10 times. 10 times, they said no. After university, I applied for many jobs. Rejected again and again. When KFC opened in my city, many people applied. I was the only one not chosen. I also applied to join the police force. Failed that too. Why am I telling you this? Because today, when people see me, they see someone who speaks confidently. Sometimes even in English, in front of thousands of people. They think I was always like this. I was not. Back then, I felt confused. I asked myself, why do I keep failing? But slowly, I understood something important. Rejection is not the end. Rejection is feedback. It shows you exactly what you still need to improve. It shows you where you are still weak. And learning English works exactly the same way. When you speak and make a mistake, it is not failure. It is a signal. Your brain is telling you, practice more here. People who speak English well are not people who never make mistakes. They are people who keep speaking. They keep learning. They keep trying, the next day, and the day after. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Use them. Here is something important, and most people don't know this. Your mouth is a muscle. This is not just an idea. It is biology. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw. They are all muscles. And like any muscle in your body, they get stronger with practice. When you speak English, you are not just thinking about words. You are moving your mouth in new ways. Some English sounds don't exist in your language. Your tongue may need to touch your teeth in a completely new position. Your lips need to form shapes that feel strange at first. That is normal. This is the real reason many people say, I understand English, but I can't speak it. Understanding lives in your brain. But speaking is both your brain and your body. You may know all the words, but your mouth is not trained yet. So what do you need to do? The answer is simple. You need to open your mouth, every day. You can practice alone. In your room. In the shower. While you walk to work. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be long. What matters is that you do it. If you practice a little every day, your mouth will slowly learn how English feels. And one day, speaking will feel natural. Let me tell you about Daniel. Daniel was 22 years old, in his first real job. His company had one international meeting every month, always in English. Before the first meeting, Daniel felt okay. He thought, I understand maybe 60% of English. That's enough to follow along. But when it was his turn to speak, his mind went completely blank. He knew what he wanted to say. The sentence started in his head. But it stopped halfway. He looked at his screen. Everyone was waiting. The silence felt like an hour. He said a few broken words, and the moment passed. This happened in the second meeting. The third meeting. After 3 months, Daniel felt frustrated. He wasn't stupid. He understood the conversations. But he could not express himself. Maybe you have felt the same. So after that third meeting, Daniel made a decision. I will fix this myself. He had no money for a tutor. No time for evening classes. So he chose something free. Something simple. Something he could do every single day. Every morning, he took his phone. He pressed record. And he spoke for 5 minutes. No preparation. No script. He just talked. About his day. About the weather. About what he was worried about. Like talking to a friend, but the friend was his phone. The first few days were uncomfortable. He said too many times. He stopped in the middle of sentences. He used the same simple words over and over. But he didn't stop. He listened back, not to judge himself, but to understand himself. He noticed where he stopped. Which words he didn't know. Which sentences fell apart. And the next morning, he tried again. After 3 weeks, something small changed. His sentences became a little smoother. He stopped less often. His mistakes were different mistakes. And this is very important. When your mistakes change, you are improving. After 6 weeks, Daniel had another international meeting. His heart was still beating fast. But when his manager asked, "Daniel, what do you think?" he didn't freeze. He took one breath. He spoke. Not perfectly. He paused once. He made a small grammar mistake. But he delivered a complete idea. A clear thought. And people understood him. After the meeting, a colleague sent him a message. 3 words. Good point today. Daniel read that message many times. Because for the first time in his professional life, he felt it. I can do this. Now I want to give you what I promised at the beginning. Your free 30-day speaking plan. Clear. Practical. Starting tonight. Days 1 to 10. Train your mouth. Every morning, find a quiet place. Speak English for 10 minutes. Don't prepare. Don't write anything. Just talk. About your morning. About your plans for today. About how you feel. For example, I woke up at 7. I feel a little tired. Today I have a lot of work. I hope I can finish everything. Simple sentences. That is enough. Every night, record yourself for 2 to 3 minutes. Answer one question out loud. What did I do today? Or, what made me smile today? Then listen back. Don't stop because you feel embarrassed. Listen until the end. You will hear exactly where you struggle. Where you stop. Where you don't know a word. Where your sentence breaks. That information is very valuable. The first few days will feel strange. Your voice will sound different to you. Your mind might go blank after 1 minute. That is completely normal. Stay in English. Even if your sentences are short. Even if you speak slowly. Even if you pause. This is exactly how your brain learns. Think about a child. A child speaks slowly, makes mistakes, but keeps going. That is why they improve. You are doing the same thing. Days 11 to 20. Train your ear and your mouth together. This phase is called shadowing. Choose a short video or podcast. 3 minutes maximum. Something natural, not textbook English. Listen to one sentence. Pause. Repeat it. Don't just copy the words. Copy the sound. Notice where the speaker speeds up, where they slow down, which words they stress. Then say it exactly the same way. At first, this feels a little silly. That is okay. Everyone feels that when they start. But shadowing is powerful because it trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. Most learners only use their brain. Shadowing makes you feel the language, not just understand it. It's like learning a song. You don't just read the lyrics. You sing it. Do this for 20 minutes each day. And keep your morning speaking habit from the first 10 days. Days 21 to 30. Speak with another person. This is the hardest part for most people. But it is also the most important part. You don't need a native speaker. You don't need someone perfect. You just need someone learning like you. Find a language partner online. Join a speaking group. Talk to a friend who also wants to practice. Speak English for 15 to 20 minutes every day. Don't prepare long speeches. Just talk. Ask simple questions. What did you do today? What do you like to do on weekends? You will make mistakes. That is completely normal. Sometimes you will laugh. That is actually very good. It means you are relaxed. And relaxed people learn faster. Think about people who move to a new country. At first, they struggle. After a few months, they speak fluently. Why? Because they use the language every single day. This plan creates that same environment, without moving anywhere. After 30 days, here is what will change. Speaking will not feel as scary as before. Your sentences will come faster. Your mind will stop less often. Not perfect, but comfortable. And when something feels comfortable, you continue. And when you continue, you improve. Before we finish, I want to give you 3 ideas. Not 10. Not 20. Just 3. Because 3 is something you can actually remember. Truth 1. Silence is the only mistake you cannot fix. If you speak and say something wrong, someone corrects you. You learn. You try again. You improve. But if you stay silent, nothing happens. You learn nothing. You move nowhere. So after this video, say one sentence in English. Out loud. Not in your head. It can be as simple as, today, I am learning English. That is enough to start. Truth 2. Fluency is not about how many words you know. It is about how many words you are willing to use. I have met people with large vocabularies who cannot speak. They are always waiting to be perfect. Always afraid of one wrong word. And I have met people with very simple English who communicate beautifully. When they forget a word, they explain it differently. Forget the word umbrella. Just say, the thing you use when it rains. People understand. That is real communication. In real life, people don't need perfect English. They need clear ideas. Use what you already have. Right now. Truth 3. Your accent is not your problem. So many people say, my English sounds wrong because of my accent. But this is not true. When I speak English, I have my own accent. It has never stopped me from sharing my ideas. It has never stopped people from listening. You will meet people from every country in the world. Every person speaks differently. That is completely normal. What matters is not how you sound. What matters is that you speak clearly, and with confidence. Let me leave you with this. You are not someone who can't speak English. You are someone who is learning to speak. That is a very important difference. Every time you open your mouth, even one sentence, you are improving. It may feel small. But it is real progress. Most people will finish this video, feel motivated for a moment, and then do nothing. That is the truth. But if you want a different result, you need to take one small action today. Not next week. Today. Here is what I want you to do right now. Open your mouth. Say this sentence out loud. Today, I am starting. I will practice speaking English every day. Say it. Loud enough to hear yourself. Your brain and your mouth need to work together. That is how real learning begins. I started with nothing. A bicycle. A hotel lobby. And a simple sentence. Hello. Can I be your guide? That door opened slowly. And it changed everything. Your door is waiting too. Open your mouth. Say your first sentence. And keep going. Thank you for watching QLeap English. If this video helped you, please like it and share it with one friend who needs to hear this. Subscribe to QLeap English for more lessons that help you think, speak, and leap forward in English. Your next lesson is ready. Click here to watch it now.